Hello my dear friends, good evening and good day wherever you are listening from. Welcome to Radio Temo. Welcome to another podcast on my YouTube channel. It's been a week since our first program when we talked about the Beatles. Before we start, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel so we can be more and we could keep this podcast alive. Send us requests. Tell us your stories you have heard about a particular musician we would listen to. Hi Mika, share your musical knowledge with us by sending a text message, email or comment in English, Greek or Georgian and we will respond immediately. Call your friends or your relatives to join the program. Let's talk about music. Let's listen to the best musicians of our generation and let's have a good time together. I will say this. Listen to music, love music and art generally. Without art, we would not be humans but just animals with instincts of survival. Art is creation, art is exploration, a constant seeking of perfection, and with all that it teaches us that simplicity is perfection itself. Today we will go rock, more progressive rock actually. Hello guys. Today we will have another great band. The band which was one of the pioneers in progressive rock. The band which has hidden treasures in almost every song they have written. The band whose tunes would appear in many other songs of younger bands. The band that had its unique style in prog rock genre. Okay, I will give you the last and important hint. The band's name is synonymous with birth. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have Genesis tonight. Genesis was formed in 1967 with 5 schoolmates from the left to the right. Anthony Phillips on the lead guitar, Mike Rutherford on the bass and guitars, Tony Banks on keyboards, Peter Gabriel lead vocals and Chris Stewart on the drums.
When the evil of a snowflake in June could still be a source of relief.
The band was named by their schoolmate and later pop impresario Jonathan King.
Who decided to go to search beyond the final crest, though I'd heard it said just
He was the first who arranged for them to record several singles and made a deal with Decca Records for their debut album.
so I pretended to have wings for my arms and took off.
Jonathan King himself is a singer, songwriter and very successful record producer. He founded his own label, UK Records.
To the deserts of sand, where 1,000 mirages, the shepherds of lies.
Their business partnership with the band lasts for 3 years.
Disguised, I would welcome a horse's kick to send me back if I could find a horse. Not me.
Let's continue with Genesis. By the way, the song we are listening to now is from their later studio album, A Trick of the Tail, which was released in 1976, and the song is called Madman Moon. We hear Phil Collins' lead vocal here, because Peter Gabriel had left the band by this time.
There must have been another of your dreams, a dream of madman moon.
So, let's go back and start from the very beginning. Everything started in the Charterhouse Public School in Godalming, England. Hello guys. Hello everyone. Anthony Phillips and Mike Rutherford had just left their previous bands but continued to write music together. They invited Tony Banks, Peter Gabriel and Chris Stewart to record 6 songs for the demo tape. A friend of the group gave the tape to King, who was immediately enthusiastic. They were 15 to 17 years back then. The group exchanged various names for the band. Yes, Phil is the best. For me also. King suggested names like Gabriel's Angels and Genesis, and finally the band chose the name we all know. In 1968, Chris Stewart left the band to continue with his studies. He was replaced by fellow Charterhouse student John Silver. Stewart later revealed that he had in fact been fired by King because his drumming skills were inadequate. He recalled, "In the end, of course, I was really upset. The band already had recorded a few singles, but their main goal to get a record deal from a major record company still had not been achieved. Jonathan King always believed that the success for Genesis would come with an album.
Sun and sand, sun and sand.
The band started preparation for their first album, which was ready in 10 days during their summer vacation.
They pray for thunder, clouds and rain.
King assembled the tracks as a concept album, which he produced at the Regent Sound Studios.
The grass will be greener till the stems turn to brown. and thoughts will fly.
Now we'll go to the album itself.
Forever caught in desert lands, one has to learn to
And we will choose one particular song from it.
If this desert's all there ever be, then tell me what becomes.
Yeah, don't forget to write to us about what additional information you have about this or any other album of Genesis.
Of your dreams, a dream of man.
Finally, on 28th of March 1969, the album From Genesis to Revelation was released. All the songs are written by the founding members of the band, as Banks, Gabriel and Phillips Rutherford, with little collaboration between the two pairs.
Tearing pieces from our lives to feed the dawn. Mist surrounds the seagulls christened by the storm.
The song we are listening to now is called In the Wilderness and was credited to Phillips Rutherford. We hear the intense string section in this song. That was not the writer's intention at all. The song, as well as the whole album, was arranged and conducted by Arthur Greenslade.
Death is easy as a substitute for pride. Victors join together, happy in their bed.
It was his idea to give the album a more orchestral approach, and together with Jonathan King, who was admiring the string sound blending with pop music, decided to change the style of the song and the whole album. The band were not informed of this fact until the album was released. Philip was upset about Greenslade's additions. Generally, the sound and the mixing of the song and the album is rather amateur.
Music, all I hear is music, guaranteed to please.
And one of the reasons, except the drums, are the string section parts, in my opinion. It decreases the beautiful melody of the song. When the album was released, it became a commercial failure because many record shops filled it in the religious music section upon seeing the title. The lack of commercial success led the band split with King and Decca. It should be mentioned that Jonathan King always had a different approach to success. He always believed that the band should write more pop and easier to the wide audience songs, which would be acceptable. But the musicians were thinking differently. They believed that to write something that expresses you more may bring more success sooner or later. After a few months' break, Genesis regrouped with the new drummer John Mayhew. He was also a professional carpenter. band rehearsed for their new songs and developed their stage performance along with their status as a hard rock band.
I'm a hero from a smell of your violent dreams. Light up your body with anger. Now, with a ugly world, it's time to destroy all this evil.
Their first live gig as Genesis followed in September 1969 at a teenager's birthday.
Stand up and fight, for you know we are right. We must strike at the lies that are...
It was the start of the live shows in small venues across the UK. Which included a radio performance on the BBC's Night Ride show on the 22nd of February 1970. During this time, the band met with various record labels regarding contract offers.
Now the crusade has begun. Give us a land of the heroes now. Stand up and fight, for you know we are right.
Later, during the band's 6-week residency at Ronnie Scott Jazz Club, they met a producer and A&R man, John Anthony. Anthony attended one of their shows and enjoyed them enough to convince his boss, label owner Tony Stratton Smith, to sign a record deal with the band. Recording for their second album, Trespass, began in June 1917 at the Trident Studios with John Mayhew on the drums. The album consists of 6 tracks: Looking for Someone, White Mountain, Visions of Angels, Stagnation, Dusk, and The Knife, which we are listening to right now. The song was unusually aggressive for Genesis at that time, as most of their work consisted of soft. It features a bouncy march-like organ riff, heavily distorted guitars and bass, and fast drumming. In May 1971, The Knife was released as a single, divided in 2 separate parts, but it didn't chart. Shortly, the song was released as a single, but its whole version. The cover art artwork of the single features their new drummer Phil Collins and Steve Hackett on the guitars. Collins and Hackett did not perform on the track itself, but joined the group shortly after the album Trespass was recorded, replacing John Mayhew and Anthony Phillips. The song was performed often in the band's first 5 years. Trespass sold 6,000 copies on its original release and helped the band build up a live following. The album charted at number 1 in Belgium, which led to the band's first overseas concert later. By the way, this beautiful cover design of the album is made by Paul Whitehead. Now I want to listen to another song from this album. Those who are true Genesis fans would know this song very well. The song is called White Mountain. This is actually my favorite song from the Trespass. The intro is just pure perfection with a beautiful 12-string guitar and dulcimer arpeggios. And then Gabriel's powerful voice comes in.
Frantic paws told the tale of his sin. Far off the chase shrieked revenge. Outcast he trespassed where no wolf may tread. The last sacred haunt of the dead.
The band have been influenced by Renaissance and the Baroque music.
How the blood when I lead on the pack, plunging through forest and snowstorms.
The lyrics in the song are allegoric, describing a thirst for power and constant battle for the king's crown. Listen also how beautiful the flute solo is played by Peter Gabriel.
Steep rose the range, ghostly peaks climb the sky, fangs sped through jungles of ice. Hard on his trail when I drew from the pack, an old hero conquered by none.
After a second verse, the song gets more rhythmic, with the keyboards coming through.
A wolf never flees in the face of his foe. Fang knew the price he would pay. When I stood before him with the crown upon his head, set to raise to deal the deadly blow.
The music is purely written in a Renaissance mood. We'll find other bands such as Jethro Tull and Gentle Giant with that kind of approach.
Bang, son of great Bang, the traitor we seek. The laws of the brethren say this.
The middle part of White Mountain changes to a slow country rhythm with the bass drum giving a little dark color to it.
Snarling he tore at the throat of his foe, but Bang fought the hero in vain. Dawn saw the White Mountain tinted with red, never would the crown leave again.
And the end of the song is rather unusual and beautiful at the same time.
Return amongst the tribe of trust in peace.
The background whistle together with the Hammond fading in and out. And then choral with the Hammond pad and the guitar finger picking is just phenomenal. The song deserves more recognition and respect. It's underrated for sure.
It's 1 o'clock and time for lunch. Bum-de-dum-de-dum. When the sun beats down.
After Trespass was recorded, health issues and developing stage fright caused Phillips to leave Genesis.
Wake up, we got to tidy your room now. And then Mr. Lewis.
He had contracted bronchial pneumonia and became isolated from the rest of the band.
Over the garden wall, two little lovebirds, cuckoo to you. Keep them going, they shot. I know.
The guys in the group regarded his exit as the greatest threat to the band and the most difficult to overcome.
Getting better in your wardrobe. Stepping one.
The founding members of the band decided to keep the band going and to start from a new page. They were never satisfied with John Mayhew's playing, therefore they asked him to leave the band.
Sunday night, Mr. Farmer called. Said, listen, son, you're wasting time. There's a future for you in the fire escape.
The search for a new guitarist and drummer began with advertisement placed in Melody Maker music magazine.
Lonely page when you're winning. Had to thank old Miss Rose for schooling a baby.
The invitation was spotted by drummer Phil Collins. By the way, Roger Taylor, subsequently of Queen, turned down an invitation for audition. Collins went to the audition at Peter Gabriel's parents' house. In August 1970, Collins became a new drummer for Genesis. In December, after Gabriel spotted an advert from Steve Hackett, Steve and set the audition with the group. Hackett joined the band in January 1971. Genesis started a UK tour which their manager and the owner of the Charisma Records, Stratton Smith, had organized.
Me, I'm just a lawnmower.
Their first overseas date took place in March with gigs in Belgium. Soon Genesis started rehearsals for the third album, Nursery Crime. The song we are listening to is from their fifth studio album, Selling England by the Pound. The song is called I Know What I Like. It is one of my favorite songs and a good example of the vocal collaboration between Gabriel and Collins. The song was also released as a single in the UK in February 1974 and reached number 21 in the UK. There is another favorite song in this album sang by Collins.
You're mine, wide awake
And it for sure is influenced by the Beatles.
since you gone. Too long have I laid
This guitar part at the beginning, played by great Steve Hackett, is priceless.
And there you are, quite sure that you were right.
The song is from the same album as the previous song.
That I'd be the first one to go down.
I remind you, the album is called Selling England by the Pound.
Except when things weren't going your way, and then the lady would say,
Released on October 5th, 1973.
on her own. The day you left.
In the chorus, the song reminds me of the Eagles or Doobie Brothers.
Well, at least it would seem that way.
The song proves that Collins has a total ability to lead the band as a singer.
But when it comes round to you and me, I'm sure it will work out alright.
It also indicates his written style and the way Phil got evaluated in the future.
And giving me something I don't need. And you know I'd always hold you and keep you warm.
We can find some similarities with the songs of his solo albums.
When it comes round me, I ask myself, do I really believe in your love? And yes, I'm sure it will work out alright.
We are now switching to Phil Collins' era, my favorite period actually.
But thinking nothing.
Tell us which is your favorite era of the band.
She has a built-in ability.
In 1977, Hackett left Genesis due to pressure he was facing between the band and his own projects.
I'm falling for her. She seems to
He once recalled, Genesis was becoming a little bit too much of a closed shop and it was affecting my ability to sleep.
touch it takes control and slowly.
We should mention that by this time fabulous Chester Thompson was already in the band as a second drummer.
But she crawls under your skin.
We will have separate podcasts about all the previous and late members of Genesis in the near future.
You just can't trust. There's something mysterious.
Going to 1986 with Invisible Touch.
Falling for her. She seems to have
After taking a break in 1984 for each member to continue his solo career, the band reconvened in October 1985 to write and record The Invisible Touch. There were only 3 from the band who worked on their studio album: Tony Banks, keyboards and synth bass, Mike Rutherford, guitars and bass, and Phil Collins, drums, percussion and vocals. We can easily notice 80s sound here, with the electronic sound of the drums and percussion, the characteristic synth sounds, the guitars and the melody itself. The song is included in the album with the same name, Invisible Touch. The album was released on 6th of June 1986.
To take everything she sees.
It was a worldwide success and reached number 1 on the UK albums chart and number 3 on the US Billboard 200.
Holding her heart, she seems to have an invisible touch.
Invisible Touch remains the band's highest selling album after it was certified multi-platinum for over 1.2 million copies sold in the UK and 6 million sold in the US. Through the history, the band had developed a unique style of live performance.
You see the face on the TV screen, coming at you every Sunday. See the face on the billboard.
Starting with Peter Gabriel's strange costumes, stage decorations with the 2 drums on the stage, and finishing with the extraordinary for that period light, smoke and laser effects.
You everything you wanted, I get you everything you need. You don't need to believe in hereafter, just believe in me. 'Cause Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right.
Genesis, along with the Pink Floyd, were the innovators of high-standard live shows, with their perfect sound and their extraordinary visual effects.
And he's been telling me everything is alright. I believe in the family, with my ever-loving wife beside me.
Over time, the technology allowed the recording studios also to improve their productions.
Believe in God, 'cause that is the war I'm selling. And if you wanna get to heaven, I'll see you right.
The sound had become much more powerful, detailed and bright at the same time.
The touch that die, 'cause I'm everywhere. And Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right.
The song we are listening to right now is a very good example of that.
All my life. Oh yes, he knows me, and he knows I'm right.
Jesus, He Knows Me. The song is from the album We Can't Dance, released in 1991. Later, in 1992, it was released as the album's 4th single.
Reaching up for me, making no sacrifice. But I can get you a pocketful.
Before the lyrics were added, the song's title was Do the New Thing.
God will take good care of you, which is to do as I say, don't do as I do.
Possibly referencing Tony Banks' opening keyboard notes, which are heard again in the bridge.
'Cause I found true happiness, 'cause I'm getting richer day by day. You can find me in the phone book, just to call my toll-free number.
The song has also been created as a music video, and despite its sarcastic approach to the religious figures, it went very well on the television charts.
Wanna get closer to him, get on your knees and start praying. 'Cause Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right. I've been talking to Jesus.
At the Brit Awards in 1993, the video was nominated for British Video of the Year.
Well, he's been telling me everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause Jesus, he knows me, and he knows I'm right.
Following the release of We Can't Dance, in November 1991, the album went to number 1 in the UK for 1 week and number 4 in the US, where it sold over 4 million copies.
Jesus, he knows me. Jesus, he knows me, he knows. Jesus, he knows me.
1996, Collins announced his departure from Genesis. In a statement, he said, "Having been in Genesis for 25 years, I felt it time to change direction in my musical life. For me now, it will be music for movies, some jazz projects, and of course my solo career." I wish the guys in Genesis all the very best in their future. We remain best friends. After a long search and auditioning, the new singer for Genesis was found. Ray Wilson was announced as the new singer of Genesis in June 1997. Shortly in September 1997, a new studio album calling All Stations was released with Wilson as a lead singer. In 1998, Banks, Collins, Gabriel, Hackett, Phillips, Rutherford and Silver gathered for a photo session and dinner to celebrate the release of the 4-disc box set, Genesis Archive 1967-75. The old Genesis members kept good relations with each other. Besides all the benefits they were getting with the copyrights, they had some collaborations together. In 1999, Banks, Collins, Rutherford, Hackett and Gabriel released a new version of the Carpet Crawlers album. In 2004, Genesis released Platinum Collection, a 3-disc compilation album covering the band's career that reached number 21 in the UK. In a press conference held in London in November 2006, Banks, Rutherford and Collins announced their reunion for the Turn It On Again tour. Right now we are listening to one of the band's classical pieces, Third of Fifth. This is a live performance from their Turn It On Again tour. Here we have the lineup: Chester Thompson on the drums, Mike Rutherford on bass and guitar, Phil Collins vocal and the drums, Tony Banks on the keyboards and Daryl Strummer on guitar and bass. The original song is more than 9 minutes long. Here we have a short version that the band did with connection of the I Know What I Like. The guitar solo on Firth of Fifth that had originally been played by Steve Hackett has become a favorite among Genesis fans. After 2011, Genesis members expressed mixed opinions about the possibility of a reunion.
Hold on, my heart. Just hold on to that feeling.
retired from the music industry as an active musician.
Hold on my heart, 'cause I'm looking over your shoulder.
And has stated he can no longer play the drums due to medical issues.
Don't show her how you feel. Hold on my heart.
Hackett has said, "I would say it's possible, but highly improbable."
I'll keep a place for you somewhere deep inside.
I've always been open to it. I'm not the guy who says no.
Tell her to be patient, 'cause there has never been a time that I wanted some.
Gabriel addressed the possibility of reunion, stating, "I never say never.
Can recall this feeling, and I know there's a chance. Oh, I will be.
It really didn't happen last time.
Yes, I will be there. Be there for you.
I think there is a small chance, but I don't think it's very high."
Whenever you call, oh, I will be there. Yes, I will be.
In 2014, Gabriel, Banks, Rutherford, Collins and Hackett reunited for the Genesis Together and Apart documentary about the band's history. As I promised, we will come back for each Genesis member's history in the near future.
See you crying, no matter where I go.
Now we are closing this chapter with another favorite song of mine.
So hold on my heart.
Hold on My Heart, which is from the We Can't Dance album.
We both know we've been here before.
In fact, we can easily dance to this song.
So hold on my heart.
And we can easily say that this song reflects Phil Collins and his style.
I'm gonna hold on to that heart. Hold on, hold on, just hold on. Just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. Hold on.
That's all for tonight, dear friends. Another podcast has come to its end. Please subscribe to my channel to be notified with all upcoming events. Leave the comments and write to us in English, in Greek or in Georgian, as I said. Write to us about what music and song you would like to hear. I remind you that the songs must be in English. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. We should be together and united in this crazy time we are living in. I believe that the clouds will be gone as long as we have music in our hearts. Peace and love to all of you, my dear friends. Till the next time.